Okay, this is part two because I got a call because I get random calls from marketers. So this is part two of the 10 MBLEx test taking tips. I'm not going to start this video over. I'm just going to keep on going because I've been waiting at least 2 weeks to get you guys this information, and I'm not going to start. So this is part two of the 10 MBLEx study test taking tips. I think they're going to help you pass the MBLEx the first time. My name is Diana V, and I am your host, and we're going over test taking tips. We just went over the first one, which is your learning styles. The second is your medical terminology, A, B, and P exam coach, ATMA, and tutoring. So now we're on the tutoring. So please listen to part one. Evidently, now we're on part two because I got a random call right in the middle of recording. You gotta love it. All right. So yes, invest in yourself. I'd rather invest $175 than paying $265 once or twice, or having to wait 30 days, having my money delayed. Folks, massage therapy is a very lucrative business. Everyone is looking for us. I have not had a problem. They actually recruit you before you even get out of school. This is an industry in which you can make almost $100, an average of $100 an hour. A lawyer makes $150, and he probably went to school for 8 years. We go to school for like 8 or 9 or 10 months. Some of the programs last 2 years. And I don't have any debt. I paid it outright. That is the school and tuition. So tutoring. Get you some tutoring. All right. Moving right along. This is getting juicy, guys. Getting juicy. That's tip number 5. Tip number 6. FSMBT. What is that? That's the federal state massage therapy boards. Basically, it is the organization that actually creates the MBLEx exam. If there's any resource that you want to get, wouldn't you go to the people that actually created it? That's what I thought. So they actually have a study guide that they have online. Just go to their website. I think it's www.fsmtb. Just look, you'll see federal massage. Okay, they have a study guide. I did the digital one. And what that is, they're going to cover all of the different subjects that are involved in the MBLEx. It's going to even give you a sample of the questions that they have and the style that they have it. You also get what's not going to be covered, so you don't go too deep down the rabbit hole. So I thought that was because you can go there. You can get lost in a rabbit hole trying to figure out what to study. It's so intense. People don't realize how hard the MBLEx exam is. And you know what? I'm glad it is. You know why? Because we deserve it. We're medical professionals. Okay, I wear scrubs for a reason. I'm a medical professional and I earned it. I'm not just somebody just rubbing on bodies. No, 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 no. This is the ancient modality that has been around for 5,000 years. Started in China, then it moved down to Japan, then in India, then into the Europes, and then to America. The gladiators used it. The Romans used it. The Chinese used it. It's an invasive healing practice that I think everybody should do. I mean, people get BBLs and they pay what, $5,000 for that, for all that pain, and they just got that. With massage, I'm telling you, okay, I'm getting all off track. So study guide. And no diss to anybody that wants to do any body work. I'm just giving you an example of how you can pay a small fee for someone to work out your body and give you an edge in life. All right. So the study guide that shows you all the topics, sample questions, as well as what not to study. They also have a 100-question test, sample test. and it's just going to be one test that you keep on taking. You know, you could take over and over, and that's $35. So that, to me, that was a steal. The other one they have is they call the check assessment test, and it's just the exam. And that's $25, a 100 question exam from the same people that create the MBLEx. So of course I'm going to get resources from that. If I'm going to spend $175 on a tutor program, I'll spend another $60 on these two items to make sure that I pass the first time. I did not have any time to take this thing again. That being said, I thought that maybe one would be similar to the other. So why buy the $25 when I had the $35? But when I actually talked to one of the representatives at the Federation of State Massage Therapy Boards. Anyway, when I talked to one of the gals there, she said there is a difference. So I ended up purchasing the check assessment, and they are similar but different. I think the check one was probably more similar to the MBLEx style of questioning and intensity. Maybe I'm wrong, but I took both of the 100 question exams on both, and they were different, distinguishably different. And so on the check exam, it's $25 for the set of 100. If you want to take another set of questions, you pay another $25. So I just want to be distinct and crystal clear on that. So that's tip number 6. Tip number 7. Timeline. There's some people in my class, and we graduated in September. There's some people in our class that have still not taken the MBLEx exam for one reason or another. There's a lot of people that you'll hear because of different circumstances, they didn't take it a year later. You don't want to do that because you are going to learn a lot of information in school. When I finished my curriculum, my homework, and I finished my hands-on training, based on what I know now, I only had like 25% knowledge of really being ready for the exam, for the MBLEx exam. There are some programs that will already include that in their curriculum, and we did touch on a lot of different things in kinesiology, but nothing to where I felt like, okay, we graduated, let me go and schedule my test. No. Matter of fact, they said you have to score at least an 80 and above on the exam coach 100 questions before they'll allow you to even schedule, because they don't want to waste, your money on, from something that was already included in the intuition. So the timeline. So once I left and I realized where I was at, I ended up doing, I ended up scheduling my test, and it was like, I had 2.5 months to study, and I studied day and night. I worked a demanding job that requires all of my attention. So I would find myself, okay, well, let me wake up early. And that wasn't working because I just really wasn't fully awake. But I would try, and I was being somewhat successful. And then I was like, well, let me, try to study a little bit after work. But going from the job to studying, I just wasn't retaining anything. So what started working for me is I took a nap right after work and then got up and studied for a few hours. And that was one of the keys. But I still continued to work. I still continued to study day and night. Matter of fact, and then I took some time off right before I was scheduled. And I ended up, anyway, I ended up having about 2.5 months, and I took about 8 days off between the weekends before. So I took off like on a Wednesday, and I didn't have to take that test all the way to like the next Wednesday or something like that. And then I studied all day. So make sure you do not wait. You don't take it too soon, and make sure that you don't wait too long, because there is something to say about being in school and learning the information, having hands-on information, you know, on your practicums. You don't want to wait. So make sure that your timeline is no more than, I would say, I would not go more than 4 months. I would say 2 is kind of 2 to 3. I think that's a pretty good sweet spot in order to take your exam after. So because what's going to happen, I was going to school 2 times a week, and then I did my practicum, my hands-on training on Saturdays. Between the homework and all of that, I didn't have time to really study for the MBLEx solely, even though they tell you should study. I don't know, I didn't have time like that. But that's tip number 7. Tip number 8. That's 7. Exercise. I don't care if you take 20-minute walk. I don't care if you do weight resisting training. But there's something about moving and studying. Moving and studying. Matter of fact, I was listening to a podcast when I was doing that. I was actually listening to a lot of Dave Merlindo's tutoring program podcasts, and he has different podcasts where he talks about, I mean, different ones. He had maybe about 15 out there, I believe. But that's what I would listen to, either the medical terminology, or I was listening to one of the podcasts about kinesiology, about the joint movements, different things. So exercise, look it up. There's something about exercise that helps you retain information. I'm also going to include this as well, music. So classical music is known to help you concentrate and focus while you're studying. So exercise, I'm going to put music in there too. That's tip number 8. Tip number 9. We're almost there, guys, and we're almost to the bonuses. Modeling. Have you ever heard of the term success leaves clues? It does. Success leaves clues. I would go to YouTube and I would scour and I would say Pass MBLEx and see the information from other people that have successfully passed the MBLEx as well, and model from some of their study methods. Matter of fact, what I would like to do, if there is somebody that had thought of something after I go through tip number 10, if I didn't include something and you feel like it should have been included in it, please comment. That's one thing. There's a lot of people that view my videos and very few that comment. But I want to build this community. Let's have this conversation. Let's help each other, okay? So please add whatever you thought is a good study tip for those people. There's going to be somebody that sees your comment. Not that I did it, not that I'm presenting here, but the people do look at comments. And they might go to your channel, or they might say, thank you for giving me that thing that maybe Diana didn't cover in her. And then I'll make, maybe one day I'll make a updated one from that. I don't know. I'll probably be talking about business at that point. But success leaves clues. Find out what other people have done to pass the test. Use as much or as little to get it done. It's only one time. Do not let your license lapse. That's just one thing. And that being said, watch YouTube videos. So please suggest something if you know something that I have not covered. So that's tip number 9. Tip number 10. I'm going to put mindset, faith, and prayer. The mindset that you have to have is that I'm doing this test one time. Failure's not an option. I cannot afford to take this thing again. I got to do this. So when I talked about the timeline before, what a timeline does, it gives you pressure. It gives you pressure to study when you need to study, because you only have this much time to study. So you have to have a timeline. Schedule your test an adequate amount of time. Give it a couple months. Schedule it. You can always reschedule if you had to, but it gives your study program and your regimen some spark, some spice, some pressure, it gets you up in the morning. It gets you up studying till late at night. That's what a timeline will do, and that's what your mindset will be. So do not go to YouTube and look at the videos that talk about the people that I failed and I'm going again. Don't do that. Only listen to those that have passed the first time. Only talk as though you're going to pass the first time. Feel yourself passing the first time. Like they say, fake it till you make it. Just know. Like they say, if you build it, they will come. So failure is not an option. Just like the coaching, my coach says, what does my coach say? My coach says, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. If you really want it, it's going to take some sacrifice. If you're not willing to do the sacrifice, you're not going to get the reward. See, because when you're competent, you get confidence, and then you get compensated. I'm going to repeat that. When you get competent at anything, you become confident at it, and you get compensated for it. That's a Diana V-ism, okay? That one's mine, but I'll let you borrow that if you ever want to use it. The other thing is you have to have the faith in yourself. You have to have the faith and know that you can. And glory be to God, because if I had not been praying, if I had not had faith that I could do this, I would have not passed. Matter of fact, even after I took the test, I wasn't even sure that I had passed. But I had faith because I put in the work. When you put in the work, and when you put in the work and you've done the best that you could have, it gives you confidence. It gives you confidence. So when you walk in there to take that exam, there's just something about that walk. There's something about that talk. There's something about that, the way you're moving on it. So pray. Pray often that, you're asking the Lord to, give you more insight on how to study, what to study. There's some favorite YouTubers that I have to thank, teach me what I learned. There's some YouTubers I like to learn about muscle groups. There's some ones that I like to hear on, there's so many. If I come up with a list, I'm going to link it down below. But I'm telling you, you're as smart as Google, you're as smart as YouTube, because there's somebody out there that will tell you for free, or maybe for a small fee, but they tell you, they at least give you a little bit. So make sure you keep that faith, that prayer, and that mindset. So that is tip number 10. So we're going to go over this one more time. Your learning styles. Add as many learn styles as you can at the same time. Learn the medical terminology up front. Use the A, B, and P exam coach. Change your style by going to different apps like AMTA, and learn, do their exams. Invest in a tutoring program. I recommend David Merlindo's and the MBLEx test prep. If you only have $40, then just $45, just get the book. But I highly recommend the complete package. Just me. Go to the creators that learned it, FSMTB. Make sure that you schedule your test. Exercise, put on music, model those that have already passed. Have that mindset, faith, and prayer. Have prayer, faith, and mindset. All right. For those that have decided to stay to the end, I have some goodies for you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bonuses. All right. I'm going to show you some of the materials that I purchased along the way. That some were helpful. Some were, well, I probably didn't need that. So I'm going to go through a couple of things that I got. I ordered some of these poster boards, okay, and it goes through all the muscles. It comes in a pack of 3, all the skeletals. It's funny that when I look at this, I know a lot of these now. When I looked at this before, I was intimidated. The nervous system. Okay, it comes in a pack of 3 for 20 bucks. If nothing else, when you have your own practice, you can put it up on the wall, makes you look professional. The other thing that I purchased, and this was bit by bit, was a skeleton. You guys have seen my skeleton, and it shows you the origins, which is where it's stationary, and the insertions where it comes in, right where the muscle comes into the joint, and it's labeled. This one's labeled. So you get a chance, if you know the skeleton, then you can start applying what the muscles are. And I started out with the back muscles. So this was very, to me, check out my video on that, but that's another resource. I would purchase this again. This will be in my office when I get one. But I got this, and this was like, I think 85 bucks. Comes with the stand. All right. Here's a couple other things, some ideas. I went to the dollar store, got a sketch pad. Here, let me start with this one first. Here's another version of the sketch pad. And here's another thing that sorry, let me go in order. I got these flashcards. One's the skeleton and one's the muscle, okay? And it shows you, and it divides it into different sections. So we have shoulders and arms, legs and foot, and it gives you, for example, let me do this one. It gives you whatever muscle it is. This is the subscapularis, and then it shows you what it looks like, where it is on the body, and the origin and the insertion. I think I just got overwhelmed. I think these are helpful, but I really didn't use them. I used them in the beginning, but I got so busy that I really didn't probably use them as I could have. Here's one thing about the muscles, because this is pretty intimidating, guys. This is pretty intimidating. This is pretty intimidating, okay, to try to learn all that. But here's one thing about the muscles. Learn them in groups. Learn them in groups. There's so many YouTubers they do such a bang up job. So one time, just watch videos on the groups, on the groups here on the back. I started with the back, then the arms, okay, the legs, the feet. So take it in groups. So these were, I think these were, I don't know if they were 25 bucks or something. Would I have purchased them? Knowing what I know, probably not. I think they were maybe they were 25 or 50 anyway. So I ended up taking those cards and I would draw them. And on here I had the action, I had the origin, the insertion, the nerve, where the nerve innervates, the bony landmarks, and location. So that's why you have a skeleton. If you know where the bony landmarks are, then it helps. So I drew these out, and I think I got maybe, and you can see I'm not an artist, but I think I did pretty good. Let's see. This one, the subscapularis, the deltoid. I did the trapezius. And I did that, okay? You can get you can probably find this online. My instructor gave this to us. It's a muscle organizer. And it kind of it allows you to draw it. And you could draw the muscle, identify the origin, insertion, and action, demonstrate your knowledge. So it gives you, okay? So that was one thing right there. Then on this sketch pad, I just started drawing things that I thought were interesting in terms like the muscle. This is the smallest muscle unit. Okay, it goes with the myofibril and the M line, the Z-sig, the Z-dis, the sarcomere. Like, there's this video that, I mean, he explained it so beautifully that I had to draw it out because I got it when I drew it. See, again, drawing, that's another learning style, right? And then the regional anatomy, I never got to it, but you want to know, that's another thing that you want to learn other than your medical terminology right away. You want to learn your regional anatomy. So your superior, the locations, how it's the language of how they talk about the body. So superior is above, inferior is below, anterior is in front, posterior is in back, proximal, which is, you know, closer to the midline. This is the midline. Distal, further from the midline. Lateral, deep. Superficial. So I drew that out. What else did I draw out? Oh, the nervous system. This was another excellent video that so drawing some of this stuff out. Guys, get involved. Get involved. Get into it. Get into it. Get into it. Get into it. Other resources. This is my homework binder, and I put in all of my intro. Here's my intro docs into the school. You know, it talks about the curriculum. So I had all this. So I just kind of made it up as I went along. It has the curriculum, my AMTA, Massage Therapy Association information, my ABMP Bodyworks password. Then here was my homework. I have such bad handwriting that I actually typed it out. So here's all my homework that I did. Okay, so use your homework as a study guide as well. Okay, here's something else I purchased, which is, this is what the school gave us. The school gave us 3 textbooks. Okay, the fundamental massage therapy, fundamentals of therapeutic massage, and the Essential Sciences Therapeutic Massage book. And we were assigned different questions, right? And then they also gave us the trail guide. Now, if you listen to a lot of the MBLEx study tests, test tips, this will come up as, again, this and this will come up. These two will come up. Now, mind you, just because you graduate doesn't mean you know everything. It just means it gives you the bare minimum of what you should know. That's why they have continuing education. So it's good to have these references. And I'll talk about references before I close out. But this actually goes through, you know, palpating. Let me go, how to palpate. And then it kind of goes through the different directions there. And then it goes through, you know, it goes through the arm and muscle. So this is actually, see, you see the set? You see what I'm saying? It breaks it down. They have a whole, this is from Andrew Bill. So that's what I got, was already included in the intuition. Okay. But I purchased on my own the workbook. So in the workbook, you can kind of fill in the blanks. So as you can kind of see, I kind of wrote it in there, you know, the blanks. So I filled it in. So see, I used all kind of resources. All right, so those were basically the study materials that I used, but I still have a couple more bonuses that I just wanted to give you for those people that have stayed so long. And here's just some, oh, wait a minute. Go to Goodwill, like while you're studying, while you're in the program, go to Goodwill and start buying some scrubs. They're only like $3.99 a piece. If you get them on sale, on the green sale, you get them for $2 and start, you know, accumulating your scrubs. guys. You don't have to pay full price. Wash them, pray over them. Make sure you do that. But there's also, other than scrubs, what I did, I went to the book section. And believe it or not, here's some of the things that I got from Goodwill. Okay, it's not much, but I actually got a massage therapy book. I got this for like $2 or something. Another resource in my library. This is something simple. You can even, like the kiddies do, like the kids do. You can learn it even, when you're learning everything. Who teaches us about really anatomy and physiology, right? And it gives you some of the basic information. This is like a little kiddie book, but I liked it. Matter of fact, I don't know where I got this. Yeah, from Goodwill again. The human body. So, I got... Sorry, you should see this. It's just a mess. But it'll give you some resources about that too. Okay? After you pass your exam, there's some resources that you want to have, and I'm going to share with you. I went to the thriftbook.com, and I knew I was going to need a couple of things. Something about pathology, something about pharmacology, because if you get someone into your clinic and you don't know what they're talking to you about, something they have, of course you're going to ask them what that is and how it might affect them. But I ended up getting a few books that I want to share with you. Just think about the topics and maybe some books that you can get. I got these used. A pharmacology for massage. And so anyway, I'm not going to go through all that. I got a facilitate stretching. I got that. I wanted to make sure that I could stretch some people out. A pathology book. I think I got all these for like $30. A pathology book. A massage therapist guide to pathology. So this is a reference that you should have. Last but not least, save your hands. Guys, if you're not doing the right body mechanics, your career, your lucrative career is going to stop quickly because you have tendonitis, you have things, going on with your fingers because you dug in too much. You need to use body mechanics. And so I invested in Save Your Hands. And guys, you can get these books used. This is something else. And it gives you different exercises, So invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. I'm not done yet. I'm not done giving you bonuses. If you're still stuck here, still with me hanging in there, I'm going to give you a couple more things that you can get. Just things, little items that you're not going to think about. But here is, it took me a long time to find this. I didn't even know this existed. But there's a crock pot with a lid. Okay? You could put like 4 towels in there. Heat them up, heat up your towels with water. Put them in here. Have them nice and toasty. And by the time you go to your, if you have a client where you want to do, some hot towels on their back or on their feet, you don't have to take, I used to bring a crock pot. Yes, I was doing massages before I even graduated. That's another thing. That's another tip. We're already in I've already given you 5 extra bonuses. But the other bonus I want to tell you is do not be a secret massage agent. Tell everybody what you do. If you just graduated from dental school, would you really be hiding the fact that you're a dentist? You'd be like, hey, I'm in dental school. You'd be like, oh, really? Let me know when you graduate. I might need to get my teeth cleaned. Same thing with massage. Oh, really? Wow. I did that line to my chiropractor. They were like, let me know. We need some people. But they weren't trying to pay me very much. So I'm telling you guys, people want to know who their therapists are, and I kept a running list of people as they were interested, or people that I thought that I could, you know, I would make a running list of people that were interested. Oh yeah, I'll let you know. Even when I was looking for a tax advisor, and I said, oh, I'm in massage school. Oh, well, let us know. We have an employee appreciation day. We would love to have you out here. Let us know when you graduate. You see, leads. Don't wait till the end. Don't wait till the end. I was watching a video, and it's a girl that went from nursing to massage. And she goes, well, I was kind of ashamed, so I didn't tell anybody. And so I didn't really have many people. And, you know, I was kind of ashamed to kind of be a nurse. And then, like, as if massage therapy was, well, I guess in some people's mind, it's not as technical. That's fine. You can believe what you want, and that's perfectly fine. But she missed out on the opportunity to let everybody she knows to do what they do. If I was a tax preparer, or if I was, you know, I'm going to let everyone know, hey, I do taxes, just in case they know of somebody that you may be able to help. So that was that crock pot. That crock pot, I'm ranting now, and I don't care. This was only $5.99 at Goodwill. It works. I tested it out. It was something that I wish I could have and didn't even know existed. I was looking for something to heat up towels, but not have to bring this big crock pot. I'm not going to go in my closet and show you the crock pot that I got, which is like this big. No, you only have so much space. Another thing, you can also use a cooler. Okay, you can also, it keeps things hot, it keeps things cold. You know, you can go ahead and get a mini cooler. So in case you want to do the cold stone application, or if you want to put your hot stone rocks, you know, your hot stones in here, this is another thing that you may want to purchase. And I got this for like $2 at Goodwill. Last but not least, I went to, I think, the Asian market, and I got these 2 spoons that you can use for gua sha applications, which is really rising the blood vessels up to the top. That's what cupping essentially is. It's sucking and it's taking out that fascia and it's bringing it up, and it's allowing blood to flow in, because what you don't realize, guys, is that blood is the nourishment to your muscles. And when you raise that, it helps the healing of it. I got this, I think, for 50 cents each. So now you got a massage. You got like a massage tool for little or nothing. Guys, if you guys didn't get value from any of that, then I don't know if you're really a massage therapist, because I gave you like 55,000 bonuses. But anyway, this is the type of content that I want to bring you. Thorough, lovely, nice. Sorry I had to break it up into 2. But please remember to like this video, please. If you stay to the end, like it, comment, share, subscribe with all bell notifications on. This train is not stopping. I'm going to continue to make videos. Anyway, until now, use the gifts that God gave you. Love you so much. Mwah.